We know the shift to clean energy won't happen overnight. We got to make some tough choices along the way. And we know that if we do, it's going to save us ultimately money and create jobs over the long term. That's what Walmart understands, and Walmart's pretty good at counting its pennies.
That was President Obama at Walmart in Mountain View, California, Friday, giving a speech promoting solar power and energy efficiency. Outside workers and union activists protested the president's visit to Walmart. Well, Walmart is back in the news this week. On Wednesday, workers at 3 California warehouses used by Walmart agreed to settle a wage theft lawsuit by accepting a $21 million settlement. The workers had sued Wal-Mart and Schneider Logistics, an outside company that owned and ran the warehouses. Schneider will pay the entire settlement. The lawsuit alleged workers were often paid less than minimum wage, with no required breaks or overtime compensation. In January, a federal judge ruled Walmart would have to face trial as a potential joint employer, the first time a retailer would have had to stand trial for the actions of its warehouse contractors. Walmart declined to join us on the program. Schneider Logistics did not respond to repeated requests for comment. To talk about the implications of the settlement, we're joined now by attorney Teresa Traber. She represented the warehouse workers. Still with us, Catherine Rutchland, policy analyst at Demos. Last year co-authored the report, A Higher Wage is Possible, How Walmart Can Invest in Its Workforce Without Costing Customers a Dime. So, Teresa Traber, explain this precedent-setting lawsuit against Walmart and one of its contractors.
Good morning, Amy. This is an industry where retail giants like Walmart and huge logistic companies like Schneider use middlemen to hire workers in their warehouses to evade wage and hour laws. And in our lawsuit, our workers were directly employed by subcontractors who contracted with Schneider Logistics, who contracted with Walmart to run its warehouses. All the goods here that go through these 3 warehouses are Walmart goods. They come from the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach. They come on in containers to the warehouses. They're unloaded by our plaintiff workers. They are loaded by our plaintiff workers onto trucks to go to regional stores and regional distribution centers of Walmart. I want to turn to the words of one Walmart warehouse worker. This is Raymond Castillo, who works in the Inland Empire area of Southern California.
In the Inland Empire, where unemployment is high, a job in a warehouse is one of the most common jobs. All day we move Walmart merchandise, but we are temporary workers. We get paid minimum wage with no health benefits. We have no job security, and we are treated with very little respect. I help Walmart profits, but I can barely pay my bills.
That's the worker, Raymond Castillo, who works at Inland Empire area of Southern California. Teresa Traber, again, what this has led to, this landmark settlement that Walmart, with a contractor, has to pay, though it looks like it's the contractor that's paying the full $21 million.
Yes, under the settlement, which is a settlement between Schneider, Walmart, and the workers, Schneider is ostensibly paying the entire $21 million to the workers. However, we don't know whether or not Walmart is contributing to this settlement behind the scenes. What we do know is that the negotiated settlement settles all the claims not only against Schneider, but also against Walmart, and that both of those defendants in the case reserve their right to go after the subcontractors for any money that they paid in the context of settling this case.
What would it have looked like if Walmart were in the dock?
What do you mean?
I mean, if this had not been settled.
Well, you know, Walmart and Schneider both filed major motions in the fall of 2013, trying to get the court to dismiss them from the lawsuit, claiming that they could not be held as the employers of the subcontractors' workers. And there was substantial evidence that was put in front of the court about the level of control that Wal-Mart and Schneider exercised over these workers' day-to-day lives. In January of this year, Judge Christina Snyder, the judge in the case, ruled that both of them, both Schneider and Wal-Mart, had to stand trial to determine whether or not they could be held liable for all of the wage theft, all of the wage and hour violations because of their joint employment status.
Do you think, in fact, Teresa Traber, that Walmart is not paying?
I can't really speculate about that. I do know that it's a three-corner deal, that it is not a deal just between the workers and Schneider, that Walmart was a participant and a signatory on the settlement, the memorandum of understanding. They have to answer for that. From our point of view, the workers are going to receive an excellent settlement, full compensation for their claims, and we are very pleased with the settlement, whoever pays it.
I wanted to go to Catherine Rutchland. The 6 Walmart heirs are worth as much as the bottom 41% of American households put together. And this from the New York Times, May 10th. Walmart U.S. CEO William Simon gets a $1.5 million bonus for missing expectations, while a worker gets 0.
That's right. And I think that this settlement coming on the heels of Obama's visit really highlights the problems associated with this narrow conception of sustainability as primarily a problem of physical capital allocation, when in fact your human capital allocation, how you treat your workforce, not just in terms of pay, but also in terms of scheduling and benefits and healthcare and things like that, really has an impact on the firm. For Walmart, they depend on this level of price competition all along their supply chain, but want to keep an arm's length distance from the actual outcomes. This isn't that different from wage theft cases against McDonald's and Domino's that have been going on over the last several months in the United States, where those firms have been implicated as joint employers as well, resulting in wage abuses and, in fact, law-breaking behavior. What the firms aren't acknowledging is that they're actually opening themselves up to a series of material risks associated with these practices, legal risks, but also, damage to their brand and things like that. So, really the idea that compensating your workers at the bottom has a payoff for the firm is, and that's a part of having a sustainable economy and sustainable investment is really kind of blown wide open in this case.
And finally, Catherine, what do you think is most important to understand about Walmart?
Oh, wow. I think the most important thing to understand about Walmart is that it's the biggest employer in the United States, and the decisions that it makes spill over into the decisions made by firms all across the country and, in fact, the world. So their pay practices, their scheduling practices, these aren't issues just for Walmart workers and their families, but for the entire labor force and how we move our economy forward.